Hey everyone, welcome to Logan Smosh Pick. Glad to have you here. Today we're going to do another episode of the Setlist Snubs series. In this series, we're going to talk about a few different songs from bands that don't get played live very much. However, I'm going to give you some reasons why I feel like those underrated songs actually deserve to get played live more often than they do. If there's a specific band you guys want me to talk about in a future episode of the Setlist Snubs series, please leave a comment down below. I'll check your feedback. Today we're going to talk about a few underrated songs by Halestorm. In case you're unfamiliar with Halestorm, Halestorm is a female-fronted rock band that has been active since 2009. They are led by the spunky Lizzie Hale, and one thing you will quickly realize about Lizzie Hale is she has a very outspoken personality. She has no qualms whatsoever about voicing her beliefs and telling you exactly where she stands. You wouldn't label Lizzie as a pushover. If you did, it would be the last mistake you made. So, let's go over some reminders why some songs make the cut and others don't at concerts. The first reason is that casual fans practically live for the most popular songs by a specific band, and they believe the other songs are outside of the so-called elite category. They don't even visit songs in that realm. They just stick with the most popular songs and leave it at that. In Halestorm's case, their most popular songs would be songs like It's Not You, Love Bites, So Do I, and Freak Like Me. The next reason is that bands are frequently persuaded by a combination of pressure stemming from themselves and their fans to play songs that get most attention to please the fans at shows. If the fans like what they hear at a concert, then chances are they're probably more likely to come back to a show later on down the line. On the other hand, if they didn't like the songs they heard from the set list, then they probably felt like they wasted their time. Why should I come back to another show? So the next reason is that certain albums that get worse reviews or sold less or maybe performed lower on the charts, like Halestorm's debut album, for example, will probably most likely not be in the spotlight as much compared to higher ranking competition. Therefore, likewise, the songs off the less popular albums won't get played as much live versus the competition that scored significantly higher. The next reason is that sometimes a band will demonstrate disdain toward a particular song. As a result of that disdain, that song will rarely appear live, if at all. The next reason is that casual fans just outnumber the amount of hardcore fans. There are many more casual fans out there versus hardcore fans that dig deeper into a band. So the odds of a band agreeing to the casual fans' demands are much greater compared to the hardcore fans. So I would usually stop there. However, a viewer recently pointed out to me another reason why some songs get performed live and some don't by all bands. I gave it some thought, weighed it over in my mind, and decided, well, they're right, they make a good point, so from now on, I'm also going to mention this reason as well. I overlooked it before. It makes sense, though. So the sixth and final reason, going forward, is some songs are simply too complicated to perform live, because it's simply not possible to reproduce specific effects that are utilized in the studio. They can't recreate the effects they used for particular songs, whether it be vocal effects or maybe layered guitars or whatever the case may be. It can be any number of things. It's just not possible to do that outside of the studio, so they don't even bother. So why don't we go over some Halestorm stats, with that out of the way, that I found on Setlist.fm. To get to Setlist.fm, you just type in the name of the band you're interested in knowing more about, then add tour statistics and click on the very first result. It'll take you to a long list of songs they have played live over the years, range from most played live to least played live. Also includes the cover songs. It also has information about albums, tours, basically everything you ever wanted to know, and then some, about a wide variety of bands. There are probably thousands to choose from on there. I'll put a link down below to Setlist.fm if you're interested. It also verifies what I say. So according to them, Setlist.fm, the number one song outside of the studio by Halestorm happens to be I Get Off. That song is number one, so all hail I Get Off, I guess. This song has been brought onto the stage approximately 1,102 times, which equates to 202,768 seconds, or, in simpler terms, 2.3 days, if you round, of non-stop listening on loop. If you listen to I Get Off 1,102 times non-stop without any breaks back to back, it would take you about 2.3 days. That's what that number means. So with that out of the way, I picked 5 underrated Halestorm songs. There are 4 Halestorm albums to choose from, so I ended up picking 3 songs off different albums, and then obviously I had to pick 2 songs off the same album to make everything complete. I arranged them in descending order from the most played underrated song to least played. The very last song actually hasn't been performed live at all, not even once. Spoiler alert. I'll put a link in the description as well to all the underrated songs we're going to discuss today, if you want to listen to them for yourself. So why don't we start off with a song called I'm Not an Angel off the self-titled debut Halestorm album. I'm Not an Angel has been pulled out of the band's repertoire 154 times, which translates to roughly 14% versus the number 1 rated song. A lot of Halestorm songs, you'll notice after you listen to them for a while, are related to relationships. That's a safe topic for them, and this song is no exception. I'm Not an Angel basically discusses corruption within the lyrics entering this person's life, and at first she was worried that people wouldn't think she was worth the trouble, but nothing she can do about her personality, so the person who is vying for her heart might as well accept it. Take it or leave it. This song comes across as a really powerful confession, amplified by Lizzie's voice. Next up, we got American Boys off the Strange Case of ... album. We don't know. The strange case of what? We'll never know. One of the greatest mysteries of modern times. Anyway, this song has been played live 78 times. I adore the pacing of this song. The pacing made me fall in love with the song right away. It reminds me of We Will Rock You, strange enough, even though Queen and Halestorm aren't similar in a lot of ways. The pacing of those 2 songs, American Boys and We Will Rock You, mirror each other, at least to me. So, this song has a beat that forces you to get involved with the song. You can't sit idle and listen to American Boys. You have to snap your fingers or clap your hands or bob your head or all three. It eventually leads to a crescendo burst of energy present in the chorus. Once again, Lizzie sings with sheer conviction, one of the things I admire most about her. American Boys, although brief, just over 3 minutes, again not uncommon for Halestorm, makes a phenomenal impact with listeners, just simply due to the wowness factor, which comes from the lyrics becoming background noise while the stamina takes center stage. The best way I can describe this song. Absolutely incredible song. Next up, we got Skulls off the Vicious album, their most recent album, released 2 years ago. It has also been played live 78 times, strangely enough. I was shocked this wasn't a single. I think it easily could have been, because it nails all the criteria. This song, Skulls, was really catchy, and the lyrics flow smoothly as butter. In typical Halestorm fashion, Skulls offers a flawless execution of silkiness combined with aggression. Those two go hand in hand with each other. I gotta admit, as soon as Skulls was over, I immediately wanted to start playing it again. It has an extremely high replay value. This song gets very addictive. You can't go wrong with Skulls. Next up, we got The Reckoning off the Into the Wildlife album. It has been played live 70 times. This song will definitely conjure an ache in your heart while you listen to it. It won't go away anytime soon. This song reflects someone who gave their heart to an individual they loved deeply, someone who meant a lot to them, and their heart subsequently got stomped on, just ripped to shreds. Nevertheless, the person in the song, although obviously devastated, wasn't going to let them get the last laugh. They're not going to let them win. Therefore, they decided that they will emerge from the pain stronger than they were before, stronger than they ever have been before. And in the process, simultaneously get revenge on the one who harmed them. I would say that The Reckoning, in my opinion, passes the test with flying colors in the relatability category, wisdom, presentation, and highlighted the continuity of Halestorm, showed how much they had improved between their first album and their third album. Even though it was just a few years, the growth was noticeable. Showed how much progress they had made since their debut. Much more refined version of Halestorm, while still keeping the main attraction. Before we get to the last song, you're probably wondering what my favorite song is. Well, we actually have a tie this time. I couldn't pick one, that's how close these songs were. There was a tie between Skulls and The Reckoning, the two songs we just went over. Skulls would be my favorite song if I was in a good mood, wanted to go crazy, a Friday or Saturday type of song, something to get you pumped up for the weekend. I can see Skulls doing that for you. On the other side, we got The Reckoning, an opposite of Skulls, which means that Skulls would be more conducive to a moment where you need an extra push to get you through the day. So it depends on my mood which song I like better. If I'm in a good mood, I would pick Skulls. If I'm in a bad mood or drained, tired, then I would go with The Reckoning to give me the extra boost I need, especially when I run out of coffee. So anyway, let's move on to the fifth and final underrated song of the day, called Gonna Get Mine, from the Into the Wildlife album as well. This song as I mentioned earlier, has been performed live 0 times. Zip, zilch, nada. I don't understand. It strikes the listener with unbridled determination. The goal in the song can be any number of things. The goal is up to you. It doesn't specifically state it in the lyrics. The guitar parts essentially stood out to me the most, even more than the vocals. The licks were just so robust and practically speak to you. They resemble the lyrics. They go right along with the lyrics. This song proves you don't want to mess with Halestorm, ever. There was some light vocal modifications sprinkled throughout the song, but doesn't take away anything from the strength of the track, the content, the raspiness, and just Lzzy Hale being on the verge of snapping gives a clear indication of who this song belongs to. Vintage Halestorm. Fits right in with their other stuff. All of these songs, in my opinion, are heavyweights, and it will take a lot more than a low number to change my mind, to convince me these songs aren't worth listening to. All of them absolutely are. Trust me on that. So that does it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. I really appreciate the support. I'll see you next time. Until then, rock on.